Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Y'all know what today is. Y'all know what today is. Y'all know what today is, man. If you don't know, today is the Lionsgate portal. Lionsgate portal. 8-8. I'm going to tell y'all a little story about 3 years ago. Something that happened on the Lionsgate portal. Some may know, some may not, but, it all correlates regardless. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing? What y'all doing? What's the word? What's going on? Y'all know what today is. What's up? How y'all coming? How y'all roaring? How proud are you today? What are you proud of? You feel what I'm saying? Give me a few more seconds. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna just fill y'all in on this little story, and we just gonna go ahead. This ain't gonna be the normal lecture. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't gonna really be no lecture. We just chit chatting. Today is supposed to be a day to be feeling good. You're supposed to be generating a lot. It's not the only day. This is the beginning of the Lionsgate portal. So tomorrow it's not over. It increases. Today is supposed to be the hottest day, but it goes on to increase as far as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And if you've been following and watching these videos, you already know what heat symbolizes. When the temperatures get high, it gets chaotic. What is chaos? Chaos is our order. As divine beings, when we dealing with chaos, chaos is our form of order. The normal person, the normal human being, right, that doesn't operate on spirituality, right? They don't look at first and foremost, chaos is evil to them. But let's just say they was thinking about it logically, right? You can't put it into order. But it seems as though spiritual individuals like you and I, we can. How can I say that? Because you're able to comprehend it. That's all it's about doing. You put it in its own, like in your own little order. How you can comprehend, how you can understand it, understand it. That's what's really going on here. But notice how society likes to separate things. We know everything is one. That's what we do when we taking everything and putting it together. So, like 3 years ago, I know nothing about the Lionsgate portal. Nothing. I want to say that day, I was, I was like, it was brought to my attention. Let's say that, okay. And I went back. I did my little study on it. You know what I'm saying, and I got what I got. Okay, but that day, me, my stepdad, and who else? It was my ex-girlfriend at the time. We was taking acid. Now, y'all know what acid is, LSD, lysergic acid. Um, Sometimes it come on the tab, sometimes it come in the liquid form or whatever, yada yada yada. People put it on the candy. That's how we had it. We had it the strongest way you can get it. Every time I took psychedelics, because my whole purpose of taking psychedelics, because at that time, at that point in my life, because that was like 3 years ago, me personally, I felt like I was a pro at doing it, but I was never taking it to get high. Yeah, you're gonna get high. I'm taking it to be spiritual. I was trying to have an ego death, basically, right? So I learned about what the ego death was. Those of you that don't know what the ego death is, it's your sense of self, the part of you that you feel like is actually you, which is the human part. That's what dies. Now physically you don't die. It's more so a mental thing. So that's why I say it's the sense of self. So who you felt like was you is what dies off. And when you allow it to, the spiritual part of you rises up, and that's when people be having all of them premonitions and revelations, right? So this is what I was seeking. So took it. Same thing always happened, right? Only this time, I'm like, I was serious. Cause like, my girlfriend and my stepdad, they was all they not seeing stuff. I'm seeing aliens in the sky. I wasn't seeing nothing. And the point we're gonna get to that. So I wasn't seeing nothing. So I ended up walking away and saying, you know what, I'm gonna try to take control. You know what I'm saying? You really supposed to just let it do it. This is why they were able to see certain things or whatever, and I wasn't, because I was still trying to control it. And while I was preaching that, oh, you gotta let go and what the man, I really wasn't letting go. You feel what I'm saying? So, next thing you know, right? I just got into microdose. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Um, I take it. I want to say I took about like 8 what do you call them, drips on them or whatever, no, 10 drips on like each of my little candies I have. I had like 4 pieces of candy. So I'm laying down, and mind you, this is like, it's August 8th, so it was after July, so people still have fireworks. And anybody that takes psychedelics, you ain't supposed to be in a cool, calm place. So I'm laying down on the floor because it's comfortable, I'm grounded. I'm listening to Kundalini activation frequencies. Next thing you know, I hear fireworks. Right? Yes, it sounded like gunshots. My stepdad come outside. He's like, man, you hear that? We both high. I'm like, no, man, it's just fireworks, man. You got to ground yourself, right? You got to ground yourself. See? Thinking I know everything. I'm laying down on the ground, so as soon as he go off, he walk off, I lay back down, I close my eyes. Then the thought ran across my head. Nigga, you just got shot. So I get up. I get up. I get up. I'm stumping around like like somebody, like if somebody breaks something in your house or whatever, or no, not break them, like when you was a kid or whatever. I don't know, because I was a bad kid. Your parents tell you something, whatever, and you stump around mad as hell. That's how I was doing. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't like if I really got shot, but in my mind, I really did though. Like it was a whole scenario played out. I heard the windows shatter. I'm thinking in my head like, why would this happen to me? Like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm out here like I was out here. You know what I'm saying? I do things whatever, but I do enough to know where stuff will come from when it happens, if it do come. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, man, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, as this is taking effect, this is what I meant by this Hellenistic realm. Because what I felt like what hell was, I never felt like hell was a place where you go and you burn. You feel what I'm talking about? That little depiction had been burnt out of my mind. My version of hell was, I always thought that you would create your own version of hell. So everything how it was played out how I felt like it would play out in an afterlife that you wouldn't want to be in. Well, me personally, you know what I'm saying? My mom cooking, right? I'm cursing right now. I know people curse in front of their parents, but my mom, she not strict. But I don't cuss in front of my mom unless I'm really mad or whatever. But I don't really do that. You feel what I'm saying? So like if I cuss in front of my mom, I'm gonna still say sorry to her. Like, oh yeah, my bad, mom. Whatever. I'm just respectful like that still. And don't I ain't like that with everybody, but that's my mom. So I'm cussing in front of her and she not even saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? She not tweaking or none of that. You feel me? I'm like, so what I'm trying to do is, because mind you, before I started taking psychedelics, I was studying them. I ain't just taking willy nilly or whatever. Some people do, and that's cool. You know what I'm talking about? But I like to know things. Me trying to be in control. Um, so I still understood I was high. I was trying to break myself from that reality. So I'm trying to do anything possible for them to convince me that I'm alive, basically. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I always speak about, yeah, man, we talking about how to die and not come back. This is what the Egyptians was talking about. This is what all the ancient mistresses was talking about. They was talking about how to come here and not come back here. I was already up on that. This is what I came here to understand. I came here to get the information to understand. Now, mind you, I had got that information, and I was thinking about that at the time. But what made me human? Remember when I was talking about the 42 negative confessions in my yacht? You know what I'm saying? It was things that made me guilty. I had to make sure my mom was okay. I had to talk to her. I wanted to talk to everybody. Mind you, I'm walking around seeing everything, right? I'm seeing everything. Everybody's standing around. It's late as hell, so it's getting quiet. So I'm feeling like everybody's sitting around me crying or whatever. I really feel like I'm in the shower or in the tub laying out in a pool of blood or whatever. Because if anybody knows, those bad trips that people have are ego deaths, right? That an ego death or a bad trip is an overdose, and some people be trying to seek that. You can't die off of that unless you kill yourself, but you can't die. So they put me in the shower, and I got right in the shower. So because you know how people, when people be off drugs or whatever, I guess they put them in the shower or whatever. That didn't make it no better. Now I'm wet. I feel like I'm bleeding now, right? So everything is playing out. Everything is playing out. I guess not when I say how it's supposed to be, it's playing out how it's supposed to be because shrooms, LSD, DMT, all of that is going to fix an experience that's for you. It's not going to give you something that you cannot handle, right? So I went through a moment of feeling like, man, I just gotta let go. You know what I'm talking about? I just gotta let go. I told my girl, man, all I want to do is just lay in your arms and just die in your arms. It was so crazy. So coming out of that, because I told you this is what I was seeking, but it took me about 2 years to get that, right? To gain that experience, and I didn't even know that it was gonna happen at that time. So coming out of that, I realized, yo, bro, you don't know shit. You don't know nothing at all. Mind you, I am a Leo. My birthday in a few days. You feel what I'm saying? My birthday's in a few days. When I had got locked up in 2012, this was the day I got locked up on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was a whole bunch of things that was like synchronicities. There's a whole bunch of synchronicities playing in my life. I realized I didn't know anything. I realized I got to go in and revamp or what do you call that? Replenish the things that I do know and really take it into my heart. This is why I stress that so much when I be saying that, because if you just take things in on an intellectual level and not on a subconscious level, all of this, your subconscious, your heart, your intuition, pineal gland, and solar plexus, all those play a major part in that. So it's more than just, oh man, it's just a gut feeling. No, it's like several other things that you're using as opposed to one little aspect inside of your brain. You know what I'm talking about when you're dealing with intellect, right? So that's my little story on basically how I became who I am now. Because I always knew things, right? But it wasn't until I had that experience it made me really, 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 really look at life, and I really started having more experiences. You know what I'm saying? Now you can have ego deaths outside of psychedelics. It's just you have to know who you are. We pick up traits from both sides of our families and as well as individuals that we come across in life. You know what I'm saying? So what helps you get to your highest level, that's what you have to utilize. As far as this Lionsgate portal, what does it truly mean? Now, if y'all watch my video that I had dropped earlier, when I'm talking about how a lot, and I do mean a lot, if not all, a lot of us are coming out and they didn't came, because you know the people that be after the government, they be like, man, listen, America, y'all got to August 10th. August 10th is in 2 days. But know that today starts for the hottest day. And remember, I told you that today is just the beginning. It don't, okay, today, August 8th, the Lionsgate portal. That's not what that is. August 8th is the beginning of the Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal don't stop until about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's a major portal that's opening right now. It's getting hotter, getting hotter. So we know that the sun has something to do with this because it's breaking down that physical barrier. Because the electromagnetosphere, you probably can't see it, but it's definitely physical. You feel what I'm talking about? That's why they can't penetrate it. Project Fishbowl was something that happened, I want to say like in the 1930s, maybe. Don't quote me, right? But I got a video on it, a few videos on it, so you can just look them up. But Project Fishbowl or whatever, they was shooting missiles, nuclear missiles towards the sky. And when it penetrated it, it looked like water, like ripples. You know what I'm talking about? In the ocean. So they really never really been nowhere. They never really been off this, what you'll call it, a planet. You know what I'm talking about? So why is they trying to keep us away from what we call the truth so much? Because of what's going on right now. A lady said her and some other queens had went out and done a ritual basically of gratitude for the ancestors down there in Montgomery. And all of that happened in Montgomery. ISIS dropped that video. So understand that this quote unquote Lionsgate portal is a sort of pride of the lion, right? Me being a Leo, I always used to be like, man, I'm shy, so I don't want to do this. I'm shy, so I don't want to do that. I just had pride. It's okay to have pride, but you have to use it for you. Now, those that's not Leos, that don't mean you cannot utilize it. The thing is, right, we have 12 zodiacs. Whichever zodiac you is right now is because that particular zodiac is supposed to balance you out. But ultimately, you're supposed to be able to utilize all of them, making you the 13th zodiac. Now, I'm not talking about the 13th zodiac that they've been talking about or whatever. I'm talking about the Christ. It's 12 disciples, and those 12 disciple means to discipline. And all of these 12 zodiacs are animalistic characters. So you're supposed to discipline these natures that exist inside of you, making you the 13th one, the ultimate one. You know what I'm saying? So anybody can use this quote unquote Lionsgate portal and its pride. You feel me? When you go inside of what do you call that? When you go inside of because the lions don't live in the jungle. When you go inside of the grassy plains, you feel me? And them lions out there, you see it's called a pride, but you see family. You see the man protecting. You see the woman gathering the food and teaching everybody and all that, because the woman is the one that teaches the nation. So the woman taught everybody how to fight, how to hunt, and do all that. The man protects, but he also got taught from the woman as well. And if he don't do his job, they will get him up out of there. You feel me? So you can't, what's that word? You can't go above nature. But what is nature? You can't separate yourself from nature, right? If you were an indigenous being, indigenous means sprung out of the land. That's literally what it means. So that means when you come to Earth, or wherever you want to call this place, and you see green grass, it's the same thing as us. We everywhere, right? This pride, this Lionsgate portal, is supposed to open up a certain type of pride in you to make you proud about who you are, who and what you are. And in doing that, you will not allow any foreign object, any foreign parasite entity to infiltrate your dimension, your kingdom. You feel what I'm saying? You won't allow it. We're not doing that. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what they got going on in Russia or with Russia and South Africa and all of that, because while the whole Montgomery thing was going on, Russia and China and all of them, they at the border. They got ships and stuff at the border. So I really don't know if it's a real big distraction or not. You get what I'm talking about? But what I am saying is be proud about who and what you are. You know what I'm saying? The ancestors not playing no more, because the ancestors who was actually fighting through y'all. You feel me? You grew up Tiffany Jackson your whole entire life. Then you find knowledge yourself. You figure out you an actual God. Tiffany Jackson and the God that dwells within is two separate beings. Because your parents named that individual. The flesh, not the soul or the spirit that exists inside. So who do you actually identify with? What do you actually identify with? Who are you? What are you? You feel what I'm saying? These beings, whoever, it don't matter. I'm going to say low vibrational. These low vibrational beings feel as if they can do whatever they want. We are now in a time where it's not happening. You already felt that way. That was the first, what do you call that? Ignition or whatever, to show you it's time. It is time. In the past, we had warrior spirits. sometimes a warrior spirit or a warrior will be sacrificed. And when I say sacrifice, I don't mean you personally sacrifice them. No, that's not what it is. Sometimes they go out and make a sacrifice for the greater, so you understand what's really going on. Some people didn't know about the information we're talking about, and then they see a quote unquote sacrifice. Because mind you, we don't never die, and they see a sacrifice, and then that individual feels something inside of them, a desire to basically want more or want better. I'm not talking about the civil rights jibber jabber. I'm talking about true revolution. Revolution is something that goes completely against society. So say, for instance, the Black Panther Party. We'll never see that again. Why? Because it already happened. So we need something more. This is why we are spiritual. I'm not saying don't bend up, but when you do bend up, you're going to have some spiritual warfare going on as well. Because these individuals know, right? They know who and what you are. They know how to get you. They may not, they may don't have what it takes to be able to do what you're doing, but they have what it takes to be able to use what you have against you. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. They make you feel like not only the world is ending, it is ending, but first and foremost, gain a perspective on how it's ending. You know what I'm saying? They make you feel like, okay, it's ending, but it's gonna be a new world order. Bro, the new world order, we've been living in it already. However long you owe, that's however long you've been living in it. Because subconsciously, you already knew it's on the back of the dollar bill. I'm going to keep saying that until that gets installed in the brains. Because what does that truly mean? You got people that talk about it. Okay, it's on the back of the dollar, so this is going to symbolize for the new world order. We already living in it. What are you talking about? So if the world is ending, that means the new world order is in it. And if it's a bunch of people, because if you are a conscious spiritual, whatever you want to call it, you're aware of yourself. You're aware of everybody else that's becoming conscious too, because what do you say? Real recognize real. You know when somebody is phony, you know when somebody is real, because it's all about the vibration, right? So what we are in right now, we are in 1964. That was a spiritual uprising. This is the new 1964. It's a spiritual uprising going on right now. Right? So if you understand you are in a flux of a spiritual uprising. You know what I'm saying? Kundalini awakening amongst the multitude on the planet, right? And it's a new world order, but the new world order is ending. What that mean for you? Who are you? Who are you? You the one to rebuild. I told you it was about coming here and not coming back. But while you were here, you rebuild. In the 50s, you had the rainbow children. You had those individuals that was taking psychedelics. All of those hippies, right? And society, government, whatever you want to call them, deep state, they said, hey, these people have a different vibration, a different color in their aura. So they're rainbow children. After that, or no, flower children. After that, you had the indigo children, right? Then the crystal babies, not the blue crystal babies, because that's not what I am, because I'm a crystal child. Then you have the rainbow children, right? Now you have new babies now. Rainbow children are the lazy kids that y'all don't care about. Why are they lazy? Why? Because they gods. Pure gods. They don't want to do nothing. They definitely don't want to do nothing in the world that is not in tune with them. So what is our jobs? The indigo children I'm not an indigo child, but the indigo children are a priestly tribe of individuals. Those are the individuals that was born in the 80s, late 80s. They're a priestly tribe. Not really warlike, but they can be. Then you have the crystal children. They're Christ-like. All of us are Christ-like. But these are the ones that are pure of heart, which all of us are supposed to be achieving, right? But it's more warlike, because what did they do to Christ? Christ wasn't what do you call that? Not what they gave you in the Bible. No, Christ was the individual that was out here doing what we do when we doing these videos, or when we out here speaking in knowledge and doing all that. That's what a Christ figure does. Christ figure is not a savior figure, because what is the Antichrist? Ain. That's where anti comes from. Ain, sulfur, which is a pure black substance. Then you have this anointing term, which is the Christ, or KRST, Christ, which is an Egyptian term. That's where the Christ comes from, right? But it still means anointed one, and it was given to Horus. So before there was a Jesus Christ, there was a Horus Christ, symbolizing the black Christ or the Antichrist. What do you think the Antichrist does? The Antichrist does what we're doing right now. It's ending the world as you know it or as you knew it. And we rebuilding something for whom? The new babies. I like to call them, what do you call that? Pandemic babies. You know what I'm saying? Because these babies is really, really advanced. We're living in an apocalyptic world right now. But they gave you a portrayal of what it should look like. Of course, it could get like that, and it may get like that. But these are the beginning phases of it. And it doesn't end with cataclysm, or it doesn't start with cataclysm. It starts with spreading of information. They're trying to stop the information. They showed you in movies. They got movies where they burning books. They got movies to where you can't read books at all. The emoji or the sigil for Kindle, the digital ebook website is a flame symbol. You know what I'm saying? What does that truly mean? Everything means something. You don't just do nothing for nothing. And if you do, that means, right? That means that you're set up on some type of program that the government did put out. You know what I'm talking about? You could be being watched, you could not be being watched. But what I'm saying is nothing is done without a reason, is what I'm saying. So you have to be aware of what you're doing. Right? Now we creating the world, all of us. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? The flower children, they really old, you know what I'm talking about? But the indigos, the crystals, and the rainbows, you know what I'm talking about? We here. That's not a name to identify as, but it's something to be aware of. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of us really fall in that demographic. But this world that we are creating, right, ultimately, is for the ones that's going to live in it, is what I'm saying. Us right now, that's talking about this, that's interested in this, we are not going to be here when it get how we want it to be. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's our sacrifice. But watch this. There's a word called will. You can put the free in front of it. What is free will? Free will is you, the soul. In my other video I spoke in, I talked about how the unpolarized state of matter is your true state or your dream state. And you're only here to collect content or whatever, information, and take it back. That's why I always say, become aligned with who you are in your dream state, because it's supreme. When you do that, you control the reality around you. And it only goes up from there. Meaning the ashe that you accumulate. What's ashe? Ashe is chi, prana. Right? That subtle divine energy that exists within oxygen, quote unquote. Right? That's what you utilize to energize or charge up your spiritual body. you accumulate so much of that. You spread your consciousness on so many different or awareness on so many different dimensions where you exist. How powerful are you? You become so powerful in that way, in that aspect, that it supersedes your physical nature or your physical apparatus, your physical body. Um, if you are really into this for real, I'm not saying. See, when I'm about to say, don't think that you have to, like. What I'm saying is you have to do this. What I'm saying is if you truly into yourself, right, you're gonna come across a lot of videos. Like you came across a lot of videos where they're talking about, hey man, you gotta eat healthy, or hey man, you shouldn't eat this, or or work out like this, or you should do this, you should do this. All of those things, all of those things play a big part on your personal path and personal journey. Whenever you feel the need to tap into them. Why do I say that? All those things play a big part because first off, let's say you start working out. Working out not only gets your physical body good, but it gets your mental good as well. You know, for those that have anxiety or dealing with anger on all types of stuff, right? Stress, it's good. It's good in those issues. For people that's eating healthy, you obviously know what that does. But not only does that on a cellular level, it repairs your cells. Truly, you know what I'm saying? We talk all this stuff about melanin, but it's food like fruits and vegetables, pretty much really fruits that has melanin inside of it. It's fruits, vegetables that have chlorophyll inside of it, which is the plant version of melanin, basically. You know what I'm talking about? So you have all these different aspects. You have the spiritual aspect. You know what I'm saying? And you already know what that does because we gonna always go hard in that. But what I'm saying is, as far as eating food and working out or whatever, they piggyback off each other. Because ultimately, it's gonna come to a point to where you ain't eating nothing. You're just breathing, breatharians, and we just living off our shape. But you gotta work your way little by little. But the little by little is not really little. You know what I'm saying? Because you are working out. You are eating this, you are eating that, and then you learning, well, I'm not gonna eat this no more, or I just don't feel the need to eat that no more, or I just don't feel the need to do this. And next thing you know, excuse me, we just manifest out of here. You got some individuals that done that. You have a physical matrix around you. Your physical matrix, your flesh matrix. That's your body, right? Then we living in this physical reality. But the physical reality is really a hologram because it's projected outside of our subconscious mind. But we feel like the body and all of this stuff and everything is real or whatever. So because we feel like that, it is real. So the lighter we eat, the lighter we think, um, the more dedicated we are to having a better, I guess, spirit. The more we realize that this world doesn't exist, right? And because it doesn't exist, I can go to so many other places. And now I'm existing in other places. I'm mingling. I'm meeting individuals. I might bring some back, like some information back, techniques or whatever, and teach people or whatever. But ultimately, I don't know what they doing, right? But I can go and I can do this. Unless, you know what I'm saying, it was like we locked in and we had something like, yeah, man, we finna meet up in this realm. You definitely, it's like that. You start to realize how really real that realm is and how not this is, you know? So as far as fasting, when you fast, you're not only not eating, but you're not eating. Why? Because it's healthy. But why is it healthy? Your your cells shut down, right? Your cells, not your cells, but your organs and shit shut down. And then because your organs shut down, they're not really working. They start to repair themselves, and because they're repairing themselves and not working or whatever, your mind is not running while you sleep. This is why a lot of people don't be having no dreams. I'm not telling you to fast, but I'm saying it could help. And also, when we start to fast and fast more and more and more, this was a thing that we done commonly. We rarely ate. You feel what I'm saying? This is why it was plentiful. You got to think, why isn't the world really plentiful like that? You know what I'm talking about? Of natural food and resources and all that. Because where we at right now, this was an oasis, but it really don't look like that. It's because we eat a lot of stuff, and then they destroy a lot of things as well. You know what I'm saying? But because a lot of stuff that we eat is processed or created in the lab. Where do you see farms and stuff with all the fruits and vegetables? Because 90% of that is owned by Bill Gates. So where do you really see it? I'm talking about the natural stuff that you would go out and eat. There's gonna come a time when you can't even trust the Whole Foods no more. This is what they saying it already. Go grow your own food and do all that. Because eventually, right, we're gonna have, because like, if you grow your own food, you ain't gonna go crazy and eat that. So you gotta, I would say, ration out or whatever. So you ain't gonna be utilizing too much of the physical world. You're gonna be in the spiritual world. And it goes all the way back to Egypt with the suspended consciousness, or the suspended emanation, right? Where they would go, they would basically meditate in the tombs, in the pyramids. That's what they was for. It was for a lot of other things, but this was one of the main things. In like the chambers, so the kingdom chamber, the pharaoh's chamber. He would go inside of the sarcophagus and meditate for months. You know what I'm saying? And wouldn't have to eat, wouldn't have to do none of that. Now, for those that would think that sounds crazy or whatever, right? What about the Chinese people? Do y'all believe that? It's a Chinese man, don't know his name, but you can look this up. Just look up the meditating mummy. Chinese mummy that's meditated. And they say he's still alive. And I'm telling you what I'm saying. And they say he's still alive. Now go look how he looked though, is what I'm saying. But the story goes deeper. But they haven't done this to him, but the story goes deeper with them. They said they would bury him and put water on him, and they'd just get up. But when I'm so go back and look at the picture of what he looked like, and you will see why they haven't done what they said. But with us, it was different. We went inside of the, what do you call that? The sarcophagus. You know what I'm saying? We meditated for months. But it wasn't just that. It took a whole lot. You had to meditate. You had to eat right. You had to have this form of discipline on yourself, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when they was meditating, going like the places they was going to the Duat. The Egyptians dealt with the Duat, or it was called the Amenti. But what is that? That's this unpolarized state of matter. Really, it's a quantum realm that's set up like this, but it's more realer than this. So it's not the true spot as far as the unpolarized state, but it's an aspect of it. This is why they dealt with it. Every place in history every system in history has a place like this. You feel what I'm saying? So when we dealing with this lion, right? We dealing with ultimate pride. We dealing with that roar. We dealing with going deep within inside of you. You know those singers that be singing, they say sing with your stomach. We ain't roaring with our nose. We going right inside the diaphragm and bringing up that fire. You get me? That's what's going on. They know it. Some of us are jokesters. Some of us get mad at the jokesters. I'm going to let you know. You got to let them do their thing. Because each and every one of us has a talent. Each and every one of us has multiple talents. Some of us sing, dance, rap, draw, right? Some of us can teach, play basketball, work out. Don't think working out is not a talent. It is a talent because we have something called super strength. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of different things that we can do that just get overlooked right now. But it's at an all-time high. So everything that you see, you got to make it divine, right? We looking at the world like, man, Joe, these people that took this from us, these people that took that from us, right? Okay. And then you have the information that you're utilizing that just however many years ago, you would have felt like this information belonged to them. Now this is a form of us taking it back. If that has to be an ass whooping, then it is what it is. Or just you go in and you able to explain what it is because you're the only one that can use it. What's going on right now is we are actually utilizing this information that we're putting out right now. If you're not utilizing it, you shouldn't be watching this. You see what I'm talking about? But if you is, then you know what I mean. So we dealing with that take back. Those of you talking about when it's gonna happen and all that, it's happening, baby. It's happening. You just gotta trust in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Trust in yourself. All the answers is inside of you. They can't give you the answers fully in the movies, but they always tell you all the answers is inside of you because all the answers then came outside of you. All of these religions, all of these spiritual systems was based upon collective or a collective of individuals spread out in these systems that was able to access forces of nature because that's what we're dealing with ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Until you raise yourself up to that true God level and you dealing with the cosmic energy. See, we just throw that shit out there. Who really dealing with it? You know what I'm saying? When you dealing with cosmic energy, that shit don't get your bills paid. It actually fucks your physical life up. When you dealing with forces of nature, right? It will get your bills paid. It will make your life good as well as your spiritual life. It will be trials and tribulations getting there, but ultimately your life will be good. But when you're dealing with cosmic information, when you're dealing with information that's beyond the physical world, and you can't reason with this, what you think it's gonna do to your actual life? What you think it's gonna do? You know what I'm saying? For us, for us that's sitting here thinking that, oh man, I'm a non-ether being. I'm this, I'm that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm tapped into the cosmos. I'm woo woo woo. But you worry about your bills being paid. This type of information do not get your bills paid. This type of information will make you lose your job. This type of information make you lose everything in life. This type of information will push you so far to yourself and so far away from everything else. When you're dealing with forces of nature, you're dealing with the physical reality. You're dealing with the force that creates the physical reality, right? So it's two different things that's going on here. You have one that will help you on your life if that's what you want, that's what you need, or whatever. That's why you have to master yourself. But that's what that aspect is. And when you master self, it's okay to go in and tap into these cosmic light rays or these dark energies or whatever, right? Because this information is going to push you so far to your true self. When you step in that, the physical world don't matter. I'm in the astral realms, in the dreamlands. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's how you gonna feel. I'm powerful. Not only am I powerful, but I can I can come out in my waking life and I can utilize this in my waking life. And because that, you're not gonna want to work. You're not gonna care about what nobody's talking about. So the physical life that you thought you cared about, right, is gonna go right up under the rug. That's what I mean when I say that. If anybody get on there talking about some I'm this and I'm that, I'm a nine ether being. I'm a dark energy being. I'm this and I'm that, and I'm woo woo. But in the universe, no, that's not how that works. No, that's not how that works. That type of energy didn't come here for that. That type of energy didn't come here for that. That type of energy is not here for that. That type of energy is here to alleviate all of that. So you have this unpolarized state. So the unpolarized state is ultimately the divine feminine energy, which is what's locked down. You feel what I'm talking about? So you have that, and you have the masculine energy, which is just only the aggressive aspect of the ultimate, you feel what I'm talking about, divine feminine energy, right? You have this masculine aspect that is patriarchal, that likes to put things into order. So it likes to take things out of its original state and put things in order. That's what a creator does. We're not creators. We manifest things. Truly, this wasn't manifested. This was plagiarized, a botch job. And that's why we here, to clean it up. No, you not no God. You a cosmic being. That's egotistical of you. You not no God. You not no goddess. You something more. A primordial being. You created the gods. And this is why you can manipulate the forces of nature. Because that's what the gods or goddesses or spirits act as. Right? So mastering yourself, because if you understood the Gnostic text and Gnostic creation or whatever, all of them spirits or whatever had a hand in creating the physical reality that ultimately exists inside of you. Let's say the atom, because this is what they call it, the Pajeridamus, the perfect human. So you, at your highest point on this plane, will be the perfect human. And in doing that, that's the one whose chakras are all the way aligned and the Kundalini is raised all the way up. Now you got access to the cosmos. But when you have access to the cosmos, you truly understand why you're here and what's going on here for real. When you're dealing with that, you ain't got to, but when you do, you truly understand what's going on for real and what's going on. What's going on here is something that's here that don't belong here. Oh, you think I'm talking about the people? Nah, it's something that belongs to us that does not belong here. First and foremost, this wasn't even supposed to be made. Second, this ain't even made. This ain't even real. But let's just say for layman terms, it is. It wasn't supposed to be created. How could you say the world wasn't supposed to be created, BabaAkil? Let's go to the Rig Veda text. The Rig Veda. What's the Rig Veda? The Rig Veda is the ancient Hindus. So it's not the Hindu religion. It's before that. It's the original stuff. You have what they call their god, Brahma, right? Brahma is considered the universe, right? Because they have a one being, like a one supreme being or whatever, like everybody else or whatever. What they call him, Vishnu or something. And out of his belly button, You have lotus flowers coming out of there, and all the different Brahmas are made. So this particular Brahma, this is what we supposed to be in, right? Brahma came up out of there and then created this, right? So from the what do you call that? From the unpolarized state of matter, Rudra came. Rudra is a supreme God. I'm gonna tell you who he is because you guys know who he is. If you don't know who he is, you do know. I'm gonna tell you. Rudra came down here and destroyed Brahma partially because Brahma ran away and was scared. So it shows you what God actually is. You feel what I'm saying? So Rudra is actually Shiva, the god of destruction, right? Shiva destroys universes in order for new universes to be created. That's what he represents. And he has a counterpart. He has many wives, but he has a divine counterpart, Kali Ma. Right? What are we going through right now? The Kali Siyata, which means the golden age. We just left the Kali Yuga, which means the Iron Age. What represented the Iron Age? The Iron Age represented all of the quote-unquote unalives that was going on, all of the quote-unquote racism that was going on. Oh, but it's still going on. I understand. But what else is going on? But we're going to get to that. All of the violence on all sides, all of the scams and crimes on all sides, you know what I'm saying? All of the thug shit needed to go down. In India, there's an ancient cult called the Thuggis. That's where the word comes from. And the goddess that they worship is Kali Ma, a blue goddess, which is the goddess of, which is the great mother goddess, outside of time, which means the unpolarized state of matter, right? And then you have Shiva comes in, but Shiva's more divine because he destroys universes. You know what I'm saying? Shiva's also looked at as the Christ. You feel me? Or they symbolize him as the devil, you know, when they talk about Rudra or whatever. But anyways, you have this place that's not supposed to be made. It ain't supposed to be made. And we got something here that belongs to us that we are supposed to take back when we get up out of here. I'm going to just say it's your imagination. Because your imagination is the only thing that's powerful inside of you that you can go inside of your mind and create worlds with. You go inside of your mind and you imagine something. And you imagine yourself experiencing it with all five senses. What is that? I would just hear, pick it up. I would just hear. But then you do have people that'd be like, well, I just don't have a strong imagination like that. Well, how do you get it? You work towards it. Anytime you want to do something, you just keep doing it. You have something called cause and effect. You got to put a cause in, have a cause, whatever, but there will be an effect. Something will happen. But you got to be dedicated. And all we talking about is imagination, something all we know we can do. But I'm telling you to take it further. With this imagination, go inside your dream state. But your imagination and your dream state and your subconscious mind, all of those play a hand with each other, is what I'm saying. Going back to the real you. Now, let's just say this right here. We know the physical body is not us. I'm telling you that all those aspects are aspects of what you truly are, right? So if you, because we all have that. So if you can learn personally, how do you fit in with all of this personally? You know what I'm saying? How can I access my subconscious mind? What can I do as far as imagination? What I'm talking about is because imagine I'm really giving you something to help you. You feel what I'm talking about? Because people be scared to go and astral project. So you go inside your mind when you meditate and you create a world that you feel safe in. You know what I'm talking about? So when you do astral project, if you feel whatever, because people is people. You got a place you can go back to, is what I'm saying. But ultimately, what you're doing is exercising your brain or exercising your mind or whatever, because it's a muscle. And you're taking yourself deeper and 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 deeper into the duat. Because it's not just one place; it goes deeper. If you watched Ant-Man, Quantumania, when they first go subatomic, they just floating around in these little particles, right? Then they go really small, and then they in another realm. Then they go to a whole nother realm. So it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what I'm talking about here. This is what's truly going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So the spirit realm, astral realm, whatever you want to call it, that's a part of that as well. But it's not that deep. But it has its points and frequency where you can go where it's deep as well. You know what I'm talking about? But you can truly go deeper. But watch this. You have to have that ashe because you have to be able to come back. Now, also in that movie or all the Ant-Man movies or whatever, what they was trying to do, get not Ant-Man's wife, but his mom, well, not his mom, but his girlfriend's mom. Yeah, his girlfriend's mom. Trying to get her back because she got stuck in there. You know what I'm saying? And they look who they show get stuck up in there. You got the ability to go in there in these realms and set up shop is what I'm saying. I'll go in there and build a house. I'm telling it to you like this because that's truly what it is. I don't want you to think about it like, oh man, it's just woo woo. Or it's something like, no man, it's regular. People go there and learn, do all type of stuff. Because I told you it's not the end all be all. You feel what I'm talking about? But this is what the Egyptians or everybody else was talking about before they started creating heavens and hells. You feel what I'm saying? For you to go to. It was a spot where you to go to. If you didn't have the light to leave this spot, and when leaving this spot, you really truly create your own world. You can just sit up here, or some people wait for their families because time does not exist here. You feel what I'm talking about? But ultimately, it's a part of the dream realm. The true realm is what I'm saying. Universe B, not universe A. We always talking about Sirius X, but y'all understand this. That really just came out, and it just came out of nowhere. So let me do a brief little history on Sirius and the Sirius star system. Canis Major, the greater dog. It's the greater dog because the Sirius, the Sirius star or whatever, is symbolized with Set. Set is the prototype for Satan or the devil. But Set was the first god ever, the first god, meaning male god. The first goddess was Tiamat or Tyert, right? A hippopotamus god, right? Now, watch this. Remember, I told you guys about this calendar, the calendar of Dendera. In the middle of the calendar, because it's an astronomical calendar. So that means it is the zodiac of the gods. So this is one of the oldest calendars in the world right now. In the middle of that, you have Tiamat, and then you have Set, which is a dog. Now, why did I say Set was the oldest god? Because you can find him in every religion and every spiritual system. Set, Seth, Sut, Sutek. You feel I'm talking about? Typhon. You're going to find him everywhere. Okay? So, he's the dog. All the other gods, especially the Egyptian gods, they got their attributes from him. Anubis, he's a dog. But you will see a dog, ancient primordial dog, and that's that because that's what they'll call it. But they'll never give you his name. They're like, oh, that's just the primordial god. But then they give you another dog, and they just say Set or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's who that is. They have to have him there. They have to have Set in every story because that's what makes the magic real. That's what that's what you represent. So let's talk about the Sirius star system. How did that really come about? For real, for real. The Dogon tribe. The Dogon tribe never spoke about Sirius X. They spoke about Sirius A, B, and C. Then people came down there. They said, how y'all know about all this? Mind you, the Dogon say this is what they say. We studied this. We studied the stars for 10,000 years. The Dogon tribe also say that they migrated from Egypt. Mind you, yes, a lot of stuff comes from Egypt, but you got to think, where did the people from Egypt come from? Ethiopia, Kush. That's where they come from. Because listen, when the Egyptian mythology came about, right, it was already a thing. It didn't get created like with the people that you know to be Egyptian. They didn't really create. They just came with it. It was some people already out there, and the god that they had out there was Typhon. So this was before Set, but that is Set. That's who Set is, because Typhon is the Greek Set. But how were Egyptians or people in Egypt before the Egyptians, the people that you know to be Egyptians, before they came out there? How was it people out there that look like us dealing with a deity named Typhon? That's a Greek deity, because these were the Etruscans or the Trojans. You feel I'm talking about? And they come from a whole another place, but we ain't even gonna speak on that, right? So the Dogon tribe, coming from where they came from, yada yada yada, the civilization was already up, but they spread out. So they said they studied the stars for 10,000 years. They told them people, we come from the Sirius star system. They told the people about the Nomos, right? The water beings or whatever. They came out of the water. They said they came out of the water. They came out of the water. They didn't come from Sirius, but they come from Sirius. That's what they told them. This is what the Nomos say. And also, they said we come from Sirius B. So when we dealing with Sirius B is the black planet behind Sirius A. When they told them about all those stars in the star system or whatever, because it goes deeper, but when they told them about that, it took them 100 years really to actually see them. 60 for the first one and 40 after, to really gain the technology to be able to actually see them for real, the star system. But they never spoke about no Sirius X, none of that. So that's just why I say that's fairly new. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it's new. Understand, when they was talking about the Sirius star system, they wasn't talking about no place you can go to. Why I say that? Well, they weren't talking about a place you can go to in the sky. Why I say that? Because to get to Sirius, right, you got to go in the ocean. The Nomo came out of the ocean. They told you we come from there. They showed you the stars. Why show you the stars? Because the sky is a mirror coming down on us. And as above, so below, it has to be a terrestrial Sirius as well. When you look on the map, Sirius X is not on there neither. The world map with the 178 different land masses, it's not on there. So, again, I'm not saying not true. I'm just saying this is what they was talking about. They was talking about the brain and the pineal gland. The sun, which is Sirius A, and then the sun behind the sun, Sirius B. So the brain, or the brain up under the brain, the pineal gland. Set, or soot, right? Because your pineal gland, this bioluminescent thing, right, has something called luciferin in it. The pineal gland is also symbolized as Lucifer, the light bringer, the light bearer. Remember I told you Set was the prototype for this, but all the gods get their attributes from him, right? Set was the what do you call that? The reflection of the Great Mother, the ultimate reflection. We was dealing with matriarchy. That's all it was. You see what I'm saying? Before all of this. So when we dealing with the Sirius star system, that's what we dealing with. That's what's going on right now. Sirius done lined up with the sun. So it's a lot of heat coming in right now. That's what the Lionsgate portal is. Why is lions so important? The lions had a hand in humanity. How did the lions have a hand in humanity? Study what the lions is. Study what the lions is, and then I don't even know how to say the name of the being, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a lion with a dragon body, or sometimes it don't have a dragon body. It has a dragon tail or a scorpion tail. Then it has wings, right? That's what God looked like. Yahweh, Jehovah, a dragon being, but a lion as well. Remember I told you, these beings had a hand in the physical creation. So what comes with the physical creation as well, right? God, Jehovah or whatever, was not, he was a mixture. You feel I'm talking about? Because this, in the Gnostics, they say it was an ugly being or whatever. It was a mixture of a bunch of different creatures that you see right now. But ultimately, it had a lion face. Those were the lions. Lions had a hand in that. That's what they say. Had a hand in our DNA. Go study it. See how it resonates with you. We don't have a other portal for anything else. A monkey portal, a gorilla portal. We don't have that. Just Lionsgate. So be proud, man. But be proud about something. Know who you is. Don't just be out here just aimless. You feel me? That's not nothing, man. I'm trying to tell you. I'm finna bail up off of this. I really ain't gotta say that. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. You know, y'all like and subscribe my YouTube if you wanna, you know what I'm saying, if you want more of this content. BabaAkil, or no, not BabaAkil, BabaWati, BabaTi, no, BabaWati. And I'm gonna try to do this, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this now. You never know, when you're gonna go. You get me? Unless you wanna know, because you can't obtain that information. Because everything is predestined for real, because it's a code. You came down here, whether you know it or not. So you know when, and you knew when, but you just forgot. So you can go back and remember and then manipulate it. That's what you're into. But you never know. So when you gain some information that resonates with you, it don't matter if it's little or not. You store that in and utilize that. You know? What did I just say? For those that would oppose what I just said. If you hear anything that resonates with you, you store it and you utilize it. Either then or a later day. If you hear anything that you do not resonate with, right? You do not allow it to penetrate your aura. Fuck getting in your physical body and in your mind. You don't let it penetrate your aura. So you gotta always be living off love, right? Pride is not only just I'm just being proud. You gotta have some form of self-love. See, my pride didn't allow me to do a lot of things. I never went to school and did nothing in school. And then when it came time to do tests, I would always pass them. Listen. I didn't do no work in school so much. I don't even understand how I really got through. Yeah, I passed, but I don't understand how I really got through for real, for real. And I didn't graduate. Why? Because I was locked up. You feel what I'm saying? But coming out of that, right? You know, I didn't stop learning just because I don't go to school. Obviously, I read. I read every day. I do what I do. You get what I'm saying? But self-education is pretty much the best education. And self-education just don't mean I'm finna just sit up here and study mythologies and do all that and do all that. Man, you can study something else too. Study finance, study this, study that. See, first and foremost, the ancients, we didn't have none of that because we didn't have what you call that. There wasn't no competition like that. You feel I'm talking about, for us to even be able to create it. Everything was plentiful is what I'm getting at. But now it exists. So I'm not saying not to learn. You can. But me, my pride didn't allow me to, I guess, take school and all that serious. If I would have, right? Because I'm a person to be extreme. You know what I'm saying? I could have went off and done anything. I could have been playing some sports or something or whatever and took that so serious to where I wouldn't be doing this right now. This is my calling. Your calling, for real, is not something that you really want to do. How do I know that? Because like what I said earlier, I used to always say I was shy. So this is the word. If y'all been watching my videos and I talked about this, I didn't have the word for it because I forgot. This is the word for it: pride. I wasn't shy. I was prideful. Not shy to get out, but I'm prideful, and not in a negative way. It's just, hey, I don't know. You get me? So a nigga got to work on that aspect because now a nigga got to get this message across. You know what I'm talking about? That's what's going on here. And you utilize it to your best ability for you. You feel what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. Man, what time is it? It's 11. Man, look, man. I advise y'all to go outside right now, be in nature, wherever you at. Because it's a real peaceful vibe that's going on right now. I can feel it. I don't know how y'all is or where y'all is right now, but it's a real peaceful vibe. The bats is out. I don't know. I fuck with the bats, but they out. But it's a lot going on right now. And I want y'all to pay attention to the energy that's in the air for the next few days, really for the next few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because when it starts, you will know, but it will last. It won't last for a long time, but it will last. But this is going to be the beginning of something, I guess, new, for real, for real. All of this stuff that's happening right now, we ready for a real change or whatever and all that stuff. Earlier, I told you the people that don't even get into what we're talking about right now are becoming aware of the bullshit that's going on and they're fighting back, right? So for those of us that's ready to fight, the fight will start coming to you. I'm telling you. But everything will be at your advantage because how everything is set up. I told you you playing a video game, and it's set up like this. You know what I'm talking about? It's set up like this. Some of us been playing this game for thousands and thousands of years. So that means you done passed on, came back, passed on, and came back. In the game, it evolves, right? But how does it evolve? It evolves because the individual that plays the game evolves the planet. You think the planet is doing this on its own? Not to say it's a separate entity or it's not a separate entity. No, we all connected. We come with this, our physical body. So our physical body and what we doing inside of it is connected to what's going on around of us or all around us. So when we elevate ourselves, right, that means the earth, but not only the earth, the entire universe is elevating as well. It's starting to balance out. Everything is happening, negative and positive, because of us. Once we start dealing with the more balance, it's not about being this or that. Once we start dealing with a more balanced, you feel me, talking about reality or whatever, the entire universe will start to balance out. And that doesn't mean everybody. It only means us, right? It only means us. So it's going to be a fight, maybe, because you never know. But we've been fighting. We've been fighting spiritually. People have been talking about it, but ultimately, a Cold War starts on you about 10 years already. So we subconsciously we was fighting it, but now, right, we actively in the war. It's not a physical thing, but it may become physical. And those individuals, right? Those individuals is going to be some individuals that we lose, and those individuals that we lose will give rise to a new set of individuals that will be more spiritual like us, and it will what do you call that? Strengthen the arsenal that we already have. What I'm getting at, you feel what I'm talking about? Ultimately, this is all we're going to be dealing with. They got their guns, we got our guns. You feel what I'm talking about? What's our guns? We got solar energy. You feel me? That's what we dealing with. You know what I'm talking about? So, but it's all about awareness. It's all about awareness. You're gonna be working out. You're gonna be training. You're gonna be doing all that. But You're gonna be learning yourself. That's how you do it. That is the workout. You know what I'm saying? The detox. Oh man, I'm gonna start eating this. I'm gonna read this. Or I'm gonna start doing this. Oh, I think like this. That makes me upset. This little thing right here makes me. I ain't finna deal with that because that has control over me. But I'm the sole controller. I'm thinking different now. I am thinking different. Oh man, okay. Now I'm finna. Okay, cool. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start doing that. That's awakening. That's enlightenment. Enlightenment is not. Oh hey, you got this. You got that. No, it will get like that. But these little things are enlightenment. The little wild moments, aha moments. Oh, I got it now. That's enlightenment. But what do we do 90% of the time? I got it now. And then go about our day. No, I got it now, and I'm going to utilize it. And when you keep utilizing it, right, it starts to change your life. You feel what I'm talking about? Your reality. And what are we ultimately talking about right now? Like, what do we want to do right now? We want our shit back. We want our planet. Ooh, right? Know yourself, because now it's happening. Stepping into that. But we don't do that like how they taught us to do it, right? Martin Luther King, which I feel like he was a plant. Rest in peace to the king, though, for sure, because he definitely was a guy, because everybody has a role, but I feel like he was a plant still. But before he passed, you got to see why he actually passed. He made a video speaking on actually waking up. But anyways, he taught us how to do all of that. And if he was a plant, they taught us how to do all of that. And I'm talking about this. That's why I don't talk about civil rights. That's not going to get us there. But then you have the what do you call it, the Black Panther Party. They got compromised by COINTELPRO, and they taught us how to do that too. We got to be spiritual. We got to be spiritual because this is the only way that you're gonna be able to win. Because personally, I know what I'm dealing with, and personally, you know what you're dealing with, and personally, you know you can only go. You know you don't have no limits. This is why I say imagination. Whatever you can imagine is what's going on right now. You feel what I'm talking about? But you have to trust in yourself. And this right here today starts that. You start being prideful. Be proud of who you are. Don't allow the pride, though, to, what they say, block your blessings. I don't like saying that. But, for lamers, let's just say that. Don't allow it to do that. Because it can make you or it can break you. That's anything in life. I told you, you can deal with spirituality. And dealing in spirituality is this right here. You're dealing with the forces of nature, which is the forces inside of you, the different spirits that reside over what you would call nature. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only aspects of you. So if you're dealing with that, that means you can manipulate this and you have a better reality. But when you're dealing with the cosmic dark forces, the unpolarized states of consciousness, right? That will mess up this life, is what I'm saying. So this is why we say have balance. Have balance. Because eventually you're going to illuminate yourself, because there's only so much you can do when you're dealing with those chakras like that. And then you're going to start pulling in, because you're magnetic, pulling in so much information. What you going to do with it? You're going to find truth that you didn't even know is truth. You're going to find things you thought was true was a lie. But guess what? Believing it got you here. You feel me? Believing it and trusting that got you here. That's probably what it took. That was the ritual. You feel me? And that's all that matters. Now you're here. And now you won't forget how to access this. You feel me? That's all it's about. We looking for what do you call that shit? Um, Processes or whatever. This is the process. You are the process. You know, this is what it is. Until we have some form of a system, like a mystery system, this is what it is. Because that's all a mystery system is. A mystery system isn't a church. You go in a mystery system, the same shit I'm talking about right now is gonna happen, but it's probably gonna be shorter. I'm telling you. In the mystery system in Egypt, they used to take a sugar cube, right? And the sugar cube used to be so pure, obviously, because they wasn't eating no fruits and no stuff like that or whatever. And it basically you'll have like a psychedelic effect. You'll be high off that. And they'll meditate inside the temples or whatever. Then they'll place a hot little like pike, a really, really hot pike, like they'll set it on some fire and put it on your pineal gland. Activate it right away. And then they'll do another ritual for your crown chakra. It's a few rituals. Sometimes you'll be on your head. Sometimes they'll put something hot over your head too, or like other what do you call that? Like crystals. What is it called? Nah, yeah, Oregon. Do stuff like that, and then it'll activate your crown chakra, and that's all they'll do. Now, ultimately, the only way you make it into the mystery system is because you didn't learn everything that we talk about right now. The forces of nature, what's inside of you, all the different gods and goddesses. Yeah, they have stories and mythologies or whatever. But remember, a myth means sacred. And ology only means study. So this is sacred study. So all the mythology they was learning or whatever, they understood ultimately, okay, now all this applies to me. That's how you got into the mystery system. And then if you wasn't illuminated by then, they will activate your pineal gland, activate your crown chakra, and now you straight from there. It's a process. Whatever you want to study, whatever you want to get into, whatever, you just taking off in that. You know what I'm saying? And then after you hear some, people get venerated. Oh, he was a god. He was a god. He was a god. That's why we say that. But you're not. That's just the spirit you was dealing with. You're something way more than that. This is why those beings don't come back. And this is why ultimately those beings get remembered so much in history. You don't even know if they was real or not. But they did what they were supposed to do to get up out of here, like the true father of medicine. Amenhotep. Amenhotep lived 4,800 years before Hippocrates. But what did he do? He was a vizier. What is a vizier? A vizier is an advisor to the pharaoh, or the Nasut. That is the Egyptian term for king, not pharaoh. Pharaoh means great house. This is a Greek word for great house. They looked at them and said, "Wow, great house, pharaoh." It was the Nasut, right? So he was the vizier to the Nasut, or the king in Kemet. He was responsible for the step pyramid, right? For King Dozier, right? And after that, oh shit. After that, man, it's a crazy lady out here, y'all. I don't know what she got going on. Y'all hear that? It's a crazy lady out here talking to herself. I don't think she talking to herself though. No, I don't think she on the phone or nothing. She probably talking to some spirits or something. But she sound upset though. The world is crazy. But I'm telling y'all, man, Lionsgate Portal, man, motherfucker. She proud. Like you tell me. But listen, um, he was awful. He was also a mathematician, right? And he was a medical physician. He was a medical physician because they found 48 different ailments and 48 different ways how to heal them, herbs and all that stuff. Studies, papyrus, his stuff. You see what I'm saying? Who is this pulling up? See, I don't like this. Because I'm really a thug for real, y'all. I'm really a thug, y'all. And people pulling up on my spot. And I don't like that, y'all. You feel me? Okay, they just driving off. I'm be paranoid. Because I've done a lot of things. And you ready for this? I welcome the violence. I'm not even going to lie to you. But I don't even want to get off topic. So, anyways, mathematician, medical physician, vizier, right? When he passed, they venerated him to a god. They look at him as Tahuti, because that's what that was the god he was dealing in. You feel I'm talking or dealing with or whatever. So also he was a priest, high priest, got venerated to god status or godhood. You feel me? As Tahuti or Jehudi. Now, or Thoth, Hermes. Let me do a quick explanation on this. When we talking about Thoth, when we talking about Hermes, when we talking about Jehudi or Tahuti, let me tell you, they're all the same being, right? Now, Jehudi and Tahuti obviously is the same thing. Jehudi is the original word, but then you will have people that say Tahuti, like the Duat, they say Tuat as well. Now, but those are all Egyptian terms, so those are all ancient terms. Why do I keep saying that? Because when you're dealing with modern stuff, you don't really get the magic done like that. When you start dealing with the ancient stuff, you get the magic done. It don't matter what name it is. It could be ancient. So watch this. We talking about Thoth or Hermes. Those are the same beings as well as the other two I just named. But Thoth is the Greek way to say Jehudi, basically, right? And Hermes is the Greek version of Jehudi, is what I'm saying. So they're not really four different beings or four aspects or nothing. Not for real. But they do and have put what do you call that? Different attributes or whatever, but it really, you know what I'm saying, some of them be the same and all that or whatever. Ultimately, it's the same thing. Why am I talking to y'all like this and saying this? Because you have so many other people that be like, well, you know, why go? I want to talk to this guy, and I want to talk to, well, this guy said this, that guy just said that, because all of that is possible. But then people subscribe. So why they telling y'all, oh, y'all, we done with religions, or we done with the white man religion, we done with religions, period, man. See, these gods and what you call gods, they still want to exist. In order for them to exist, right, you have to be pro-humanity. You have to be here and building this world up. Granted, I just said what I said earlier, but you don't know what I mean when I mean what I mean. Talking about a more spiritual world, a more balanced world, paradigm shift. What that mean? All the gods or the goddesses or whatever and all that stuff, as above, so below. So that means you thinking they on top when they actually on bottom. There was a one point that was on top when the whole what's that word? The war in heavens or whatever they want to call it or whatever, right? That whole beginning thing. That was us. And then we fell in physical reality, right? The only difference is, right, that whole apocalypse, the whole Ragnarok, the revelations, the end of the world, right? The whole true meaning of that, it's not going to be a paradigm shift to where now the gods or the goddesses that we dealing with, that's aspects of us, are going to be a physical body now, because they really don't exist for real. They only exist when you give them attention. Okay, but how nature and all this is, you think it's real. Everything around you, you've been taught that. You think it's real. So it's going to be real. To you, for real, for real. Now the masses, so they keep it real. You a battery. That's what I'm getting at here. We not humans. You can't look at this like a human. You can't think about it like a human. You can't reason with this. It is subjective, but it's subjective to you or for you, however you put it. And that's absolutely right. So if you tell me I'm backflipping on my fingers, whatever that means, that's real. That's what's going on. How can I tell you it's not? What I'm telling you is I done correlated most of them. You know, you can't study everything. You can only do your best too. But because with study, you know, it's not just about study. You got to study and then take it within as well. So, and that's the process. So anyway, most of them, they talking about the same thing. I realize that, but you still have to have balance. So it's still you still gotta match that form of self. And what is self? Everything around you. The quote unquote gods destroyed their parents. They didn't kill them. They destroyed their parents, and with their parents' essence, created what you know as the physical reality and the physical body. Everything around you. So that means everything about us and inside us was already this and already existed. That and more. You in jail, right? The Gnostics said, y'all the broth. Y'all the broth got 12 angels or archons, not angels. That's what they call it. I just said angels because that's what you know, but they're not angels. They're really like low vibrational beings. I'm gonna say that because that's a more proper term for them. But really, they're beings that seem to hold you down, hold down your not you, not your physical body, your essence, your soul. That's exactly what it says, verbatim. So that's what's going on here. Your soul. Your soul supposed to be what? Trapped in your body, right? Your body can't leave this place. Why? Oh, people been in space. When? What is space? If you talking about the ocean, yeah, right. But what about that dude that said, "Man, I found that little water in the ocean," and they got rid of him? Man, they ain't making it past that. They showing you what's going on in the movies. But spiritually, we can go anywhere because a astral projector or astral projector, you know what I'm saying? A master astral projector can astral project and go anywhere, right? Not just in a little in a little house or around in little neighborhoods or whatever. Because some people don't have that much ashe, or some people just be too scared to just go off because they don't want to break that cord or I can't get back to my body. All you gotta do is think about it. All you gotta do is think about going back to your body. Next thing you know, I'm woke. That's how easy it is. But it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to think about it so simple like that because it's something so quote unquote grand. It ain't grand. It's natural. It's in your nature to do that. But you've been told that it was false, it was imagination, it was woo woo. That's cool. You got imagination, right? I still can do it. Who's to say I'm not actually doing this? And then you start trusting yourself for real, and you go to other places, people house, and start touching things, moving things. When a spirit move things and touch things, they got enough energy to do that. But some spirits don't be having the physical body to go back to. They just there. But when you go and you astral project, you're in spirit or astral form or mental form. All three of those things correlate together. The astral, the mental, and the spirit plane is one and the same. There's different dimensions that exist inside of these things, but it's one and the same. Well, let's say this: the astral, the spiritual, and the mental, and the physical plane are all the same thing. The physical plane is just denser than the other ones. The other three that only just makes up one is what I'm getting at. So the only thing is dimensions. You in the physical dimension. That's it. And then when you go to this astral dimension, which is the spiritual or the mental dimension or whatever, you truly understand that everything is really going off the mind, is what I'm saying. So this is why I say it's cool to go inside of your imagination. Go inside of your head and imagine things. Imagine yourself experiencing this with all five senses, right? And then go deeper with your sixth sense, your seventh sense, your however many, you know what I'm talking about, you discover you have. Because fuck what the book say. Tell me what you experienced. I'm not going to deny your experience. I might deny a book because that's that's what that's what's set up. Okay, all these books say this. I'm not going to believe that if you come in with that. But if you tell me, man, this is what I experienced, and I went inside myself and then walked the bin, I'm more inclined to believe that because this is what's going on. But that's who I am. You know, I'm a Leo. So, and I trust that an individual will be true enough to, if they are vibrating on this frequency, I would trust that they actually doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or want to, strive to. Why else are you interested in this? You know what I'm talking about? A person that's interested in being conscious or spiritual, right? What we talking about right now, whatever, is not a normal person. A normal person will just get talked to, right? I'm not telling you I'm not telling you what to do as far as what to do to give you hope. No, man, I'm telling you what to do to get you better. How can you say I'm not better? Because you still think you're a human. How do I still think I'm a human if I say I'm a god? Because you act like a human. Something happens, you're gonna cry. Something happens, you may get upset. But don't we gotta feel that way or whatever? Yeah. We don't have to feel that way. You can feel that way. And feeling that way, do you allow it to control you? Balance. Balancing of the emotions. Understanding that pisses me off, but why does it piss me off? That makes me happy. Why does it make me happy though? As well. Question everything. Gain an understanding, inner standing. Because it's you. And then whatever you want, you keep. Whatever you don't, you get away. And you bring in more things of what you do want. You start learning more things that will help you out on your journey. Becoming the actual solar being what you are. It's gonna take a while, maybe, but it's based off your drive. The more blood, sweat, and tears, I was just told this. The more blood, sweat, and tears that you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. I like that. Because that's what it's gonna take. Yours. Nobody else's. We ain't winning off the next person. We winning because it was already in us and we was destined to. But you have to, you have to, you have to go through what you're going through right now. You have had to have experienced all of what you are experiencing right now. Our ancestors, they went through what they went through. That had to happen. All of this had to happen. So you can get back to where you're going. We lack the experience. I'm gonna keep saying it. Because you came down here with everything without the experience. That's the flaw. How is lacking in experience a flaw? Because we are infinite beings, right? So your soul don't do nothing but just project a spirit to experience something. But this has to be created. So it has to be a group thing basically. You know what I'm talking about? So it has to be a lot of souls that want to come down here and learn something that's flawed or whatever, right? The thing is, you come down here and learn whatever you come here and learn as much as you can learn, whatever, right? To take it back. So all of the bullshit that you experienced, you will not recreate in your new reality. We still going through creation. That Big Bang or whatever, because all that is a cycle. Yes, it's nearing on its end, but it's nearing on its end because people are becoming conscious aware. Because they're becoming conscious aware, you're starting to see the world for what it is. But before that, you just thought the world was regular. And if you tell a person that think the world is regular, that we living in the actual end days or whatever, man, they'd look at you like you was crazy, knowing damn well we actually are. So it don't matter what you read in the Quran, the Bible, or whatever, because they all talking about it. You just got to take your experiences, because you've been here. If we are infinite and we don't, quote unquote, unalive, that means we have the potential to recreate this bullshit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's all I'm getting at. You want to stop that, Joe. So I just said I was going to get up off here, and I went in probably a whole nother hour. So now I'm actually going to get off here for real. Because I'm finna slide, man. I love y'all. For sure. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Gather all of this energy. Most people are not going to utilize the Lionsgate portal. They're going to talk about it today. It's going to be over with. I talked about it today just to bring you awareness. Me personally, I'm going to utilize this as much as I can. So I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Go in, man. When you have time to yourself, just meditate, man. Meditate. Think about that inner lion that's inside of you, the inner Leo that's inside of you. Understand what the Leo represents spiritually, and just understand what it represents. Period. And then understand the little characteristics that exist inside of you, and just dwell on those things when you meditate. And you want to raise that energy up inside of you, or whatever, and to see what happens inside of your life, basically, man. Y'all be safe out there, man. I love y'all, and just I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I'll be back.